It looks like we're live, so we'll run the intro and get ready for the show.
You want to play? Let's play.
All right, it's time for the Gamers Den tonight. Tonight we got a special guest in the house. But first and foremost, welcome everybody to the Gamers Den. I'm Jacoby. Up top, right above me on the screen, our special guest. Go ahead and take it away. Tell everybody who you are.
Hey, I'm Neil. I go by Aerial Knight Online. I created a game called Aerial Knights Never Yield, and I'm happy to be here and talking to you all.
All right, Neil. So, first and foremost, where are you out
of? Detroit. Born and raised in Detroit. I work out of Detroit. It's a good time. Detroit's really cool.
I mean, especially now, you guys got the Lions that are about to turn it around up there.
I wouldn't even know nothing about that. But it's nice and peaceful up here. Detroit gets a bad rep, but I like it because it keeps people away.
I feel your pain because I'm in Durham and we get the same bad rap, but Durham is actually one of the nicest places you could ever go to.
Yeah.
So tell me about Never Yield. What exactly is Never Yield?
So Never Yield is a narrative runner, which takes a lot of aspects from runner games from the past and gives a different take on it. We add things like a story, a very different type of soundtrack, which is hip hop mixed with jazz, cutscenes, all types of things to kind of mix it up and make it a little bit different.
Hip hop mixed with jazz. What do you mean? So that's two great genres of music. So what type of hip hop and what type of jazz? Because that's a broad description. Are we talking East Coast, West Coast?
It's a little bit of everything. It's weird, but it sounds good. That's all that matters. So it's on Spotify. So if you all want to check it out, it's pretty dope. We had singers and rappers come in and rap on top of a couple of the tracks. If you check out the Steam page or any of the other pages, it's pretty much on all the platforms. You can check out the trailer and get a sense of what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we'll run the trailer real quick.
We back on the scene, like they never seen before. I'm coming clean 16s when I go for broke. 16 like the ceiling gon' overload. Trying to get by me, don't know the code. I'm in a whole nother league, thought I told you so. Every time I'm on the track, no review.
So why did you decide on doing an endless runner?
Well, it's not endless. It has a cap. So, every level is about 4 to 5 minutes. And there's only 13 levels, plus bonus levels and challenge modes and things like that. But I wanted to take something that was familiar and make it different,
Okay. So it's, we see that it's on Steam and Epic. What all is it on? Because I think on your website you had the Nintendo Switch as well.
Yeah, that was like one of the launch trailers. And like Steam and Epic was the ones that we had locked down at the time. But it's literally on every platform. It's on Epic Game Store, Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, Apple, Android, Steam, all of it.
Now, I love the art style. Now, what made you, who did your artwork? Did you hire a local artist? Did you do the artwork yourself?
So I did the art myself. That splash art that you're looking at, that was done by me as well as a few other people to help me kind of get it to look right. So everything in the game was done by me, but the splash art was done by a few people from like my friend Angie, who helped me with the initial sketches, and me doing like the color work and sending it to other people to help me with lighting and things like that. Because splash art is real tricky, so I need a lot of help with that.
How long did it take you to develop, produce? Take us from start to finish when you decided that you had this idea of Never Yield. Mm-hmm. How long did it take you to get to the point where you could put it out on, say, Steam or on the Nintendo Switch?
It was about 3 years. To get the initial launch done, it was about 2.5 years, and then an extra 6 months for the update that came out to kind of, fix some bugs and issues.
Was it only you working on it the whole time, or did you have others as a team working together?
So I did the initial levels, but once the game is done, there's a lot of porting and things like that that needs to be done for all the platforms that we were aiming for. I got a publisher, and the publisher helped me port to all these different platforms, and they had a couple people who were specialized in that field. Because porting to to Xbox and PlayStation is two completely different things, and then you have to worry about achievements and trophies and all that stuff. So yeah, they helped me out a lot with that.
With that decision, in terms of porting and all the other hands that get involved, what were the biggest influences on you? Because there are a lot. So the reason I asked that question is because you have a lot of individuals that want to get into gaming, that think it's this easy thing, but then they start to get into a game or get into maybe doing some artwork, but then they can't figure out how to do the coding side of things, or what game engine to use, or what even a game engine is. So what influenced you to stick with it?
Yeah, I've been, working on game development stuff since I came out of high school. So I've been doing it for almost 15 years now, or it's 13. I don't know. It's been a while. But, it's just something I always kind of do and play with. I go with whatever I know best. So I use Unity just because I'm the most comfortable with it. I use everything to do art that you could think of. Any new program, I kind of try to pick up and learn and take the best aspects from it. And that kind of is what keeps me going. And doing so many things from like coding to art to marketing, I get to hop around a lot, and that's what kind of keeps me going. Is the fact that I don't have to just do one thing every day, all day.
Gotcha. Now, if you were to reach back and tell somebody, if you were to reach back and say, hey, younger Neil from 15 years ago, this is going to be the toughest part. You're going to feel like you're butting your head against the wall, but if you just stick to it and get through it, it's going to be all right. What was the toughest part for you?
I don't really know. It's probably just, talking about it to people, getting the initial idea of what it actually is out there, because it's really easy to look at the game and say, oh, it's an endless runner. But it's like a lot more than that. There's a lot more aspects to it. So probably just, taking my time and really spending a lot of time figuring out how to best describe what this is, rather than letting people see it and just like coming up with their own conclusion. I got really good at making trailers. Like the trailer you just saw is like the 4th or 5th trailer. But the first one, it very much felt like it was just like an endless runner type of game. But I started highlighting all the different camera angles and the different types of music and the singers and the rappers. And that kind of helped people understand that it was a little bit different than what they were used to.
You said with all the different, to get back to the music portion of it, who are some of the names out there that people may recognize or may have heard of passing by?
Probably none.
Let's get there now. What are some names that people should know about that were on your that were going over the music that you have in the game?
Well, mainly Daniel Wilkins. He's done all the music for all my games. Like we went to middle school together, and like every time I need music, I hit him up because he's amazing. Yeah, I would say if you check out the soundtrack, you'll just see like that it was just me and him for all the tracks. Austin A, he rapped on a couple of tracks in which I used for the trailers as well. He's pretty amazing. So yeah, it was pretty cool, dope. But those are the main two.
Okay. You didn't get Dylon, and Dylon from the Spell Show.
I don't know who that is.
Easy, the Chappelle Show throwback.
Oh man, it is way too late for callbacks.
I gotta keep you on your toes. What's next?
Well, there was a lot of support for Never Yield. People really gave me a lot of good feedback and critiques, and I really want to move forward with something new and like a different take on it, as well as doing something completely different. So I'm just playing around with a few things, seeing what I can do. If I come up with something really cool, then I'm gonna make that. But anything less than amazing isn't really interesting to me to kind of put my time into.
Sticking with what's next and what is now, using the MCU analogy or the Marvel Cinematic Universe analogy, are you going to keep it in the Never Yield universe? Because it looks like the game itself has a very unique and very neat artistic style. Are you going to keep that same style for the next game or whatever you're jumping to next?
Yeah, that's just kind of my core art style. When I just do art, that's kind of what I do the quickest. As far as if I just had to make a box, it's gonna match like the Never Yield style by default. But if I find like a really cool, interesting, different art style that I could kind of lean into, I would it would be exciting to switch to something different. But I only have one like main game out, with my name on it. So I'm gonna make a couple things, and if people get sick of my art style, then I'll switch it up.
No, I think it's very it's unique. It's also in style because it seems like you have an influence of anime within there.
Yeah.
Which animes influence you the most, though?
Oh, I watch everything, but I like Mob Psycho.
Love it. It's one of my favorites.
How like when you have to think of something, you just blank out. I like Mob Psycho.
You like Mob Psycho? Then I know you like One Punch Man.
One Punch Man's alright.
That's my show.
Yeah, but Mob Psycho got a balance of action and story. One Punch Man is very much just the action side of it, which is cool. But I like Ranking the Kings, and this one show called I Didn't Want to Get Hurt, so I put all my points in defense.
I love that show.
I like that. I like it a lot.
I think it's Bafura.
Some weird name that I can never remember.
So speaking of that show is similar to another show. If you ever watch Shield Hero.
Yeah, I watched Shield Hero. I didn't get to see season 2, but season 1 was dope.
Oh, season 2 was great too. Season 2 was great. Did you ever? Now we're on anime. I love my anime too because one that I just got hooked on. So I got hooked on. Did you ever see The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime?
Yeah, but it got real. It became a lot. I like the first 12 episodes of it. I watched the whole thing of the first season, but after a while, I was like, I'm good.
Trust me, push through it because then they start picking at Dragon Ball and all the other ones. It just gets so.
There's just too many characters. Once too many characters get involved, I'm like out of it because I got to remember all these people, and I'm already watching 3 other animes. And
the one that I actually just recently got hooked on is The Vampire Dies Too Soon.
I never even heard of that one.
I hadn't either, and I was just flipping through my Crunchyroll list, and it just popped up. And I started looking at it. It is the most random show. So there are 2 shows that I love to death just because they're just stupid, funny, and the random, mindless humor, which are Shin Chan. I don't know if you've seen Shin Chan.
I haven't.
Shin Chan is about a 5-year-old kid, his 2-year-old sister, and a mom and a father. The kid is, you have to think about like South Park, kind of random, just funny stuff that pops up. He has his favorite cartoon character. His favorite cartoon character's name is Action Bastard. Action Bastard has a bastard beam. And it's just dumb.
Oh yeah,
So,
that's random.
check out Shin Chan. Then there was Bobo 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 Bobo. That one was just completely random on everything. I don't know if you've seen that one.
No, I haven't.
Check that one out because it's basically Bobo 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 Bo is the actual guy. It's a spoof on like your 80s Miami Vice macho action hero. He has a blonde afro. He has a mustache that goes out kind of strange. He's always fighting a nose hair or something random that pops up. Yeah, it's hilarious. But the vampire dies too soon is similar to that because everything kills this vampire. Everything. He got insulted by a kid and he died. And then he reincarnates out of his ashes. It's just dumb. But it's just hilarious. Trust me, take the time to just watch it. You'll think it's stupid, but then you're like, okay, why am I watching this? Because this is just dumb. And then you start laughing.
Add it to the list.
Okay, I'm going to watch it now. And the art style is actually pretty decent. But yeah, The Vampire Dies Too Soon is my new thing.
Yeah.
So, what other animes? My Hero is one, I guess.
Yeah, My Hero. I watch all the standard stuff. Yeah.
Any other, I guess, of the new DC or Marvel or the Americanized cartoons that are influencing this?
Not as much of an influence, just the characters are based off of like old action heroes, Axel Foley and Shaft and people like that. Like people I grew up watching and being like, oh, he's so cool. So
Who was your favorite?
Axel Foley probably. Just like off the top of my head, but I know if I thought longer, I would be like, oh yeah, Static Shock and things like that, or Static, not Static Shock.
Yeah. Looks like Mark has finally jumped in to join us, and he's got his food with us.
I took up food with me. It's been a long day of work and all of that, and this might be the only second meal of the day. So I'm glad that Neil has joined after I reached out to him and I learned all of the amazing activities that he was involved in and being a pioneer here in the whole video game lane. As I tell Toby oftentimes, that is not my lane. I'm more of the journalist, but I used to play some of those very non-fancy games, like Mario Brothers and Pac-Man and all of those other non-fancy games. But you've been
all of those.
So, speaking of the classic games, which games were your favorite growing up?
Probably like Galaga, Bejeweled, the Time Crisis ones in the arcades. There was like this weird bowling one where you like you remember in like the bowling alleys they had this arcade game where it's like this little ball you have to like roll it, but it didn't actually roll. It was just like in the center.
I know which one you're talking about. I forget the name of that one.
Yeah, I would play stuff like that all the time. My grandma worked in the bowling alley, and I would just be there all day, just playing arcade games and hanging out.
You remember Arch Rivals?
I don't remember the names of any of those. Like anything outside of the like most popular ones, I could not tell you the names of them.
It was the other basketball one. It was the one that you could run down the court and just punch people.
Oh. I remember there was like an arcade game where there were like actual basketballs as the controllers, and you just like had to like hit it really hard. Like it was like a drum where you just had to tap it really hard to kind of bounce it and then like hit it real hard to shoot it. It was really weird.
Interesting.
So what was the first game you got into? Was it board games first and then video games, or did you just jump right into video games as a child, or did the board games lead you into the video games?
I was like luckily young enough to just like be born into the arcade stuff. I did not have the attention span for board games.
I can definitely understand that. It definitely takes attention span and all of that. You know, one thing I remember about the arcade games was that it was also somewhat of the social atmosphere, because I remember even here in Durham, where me and Jacoby are, there used to be the malls that would have the arcades, and that was where people would hang out. There was a little bit of courting going on there as well. So I was wondering if that was your experience also, that it was the social atmosphere and it wasn't just playing the games, but it was also a place to be the cool kid, even if you weren't the cool kid in the school at that particular time.
Yeah, no, for me, just like I would be there during like, school hours. So there was just like adults there. It was in the middle of a bowling alley. So it was mostly just me in that little arcade. When I got older, like in high school age, I went to a couple arcades and that was fun. But it was mostly just me trying to like play games. I never like really talked to anybody else.
I had mentioned your name one time before, Jacoby, when I was finding the pioneers of African Americans that were in the whole video game, and that's actually where I stumbled across your name and everything. So, do you think that the lanes have become greater opportunities for those of us in the minority community, or is it still not enough of us being represented in both the character and in the video games development as well? But you've been there, you've definitely got some accolades, but I was wondering your thoughts as to how we are doing both as creators but also characters, because a lot of people got into that whole Wakanda thing and the Black Panther thing, so of course their video games being created around that narrative.
Yeah, I don't think the characters necessarily. I thought initially the characters being in the games mattered, but I think that matters a lot less than people think. I don't think we necessarily like should focus on like Black characters. I mean, which is cool. I think we should have those, but as like from the perspective of from our side of things, I feel like having us actually make the games and be behind the scenes, that would lead to us having more representation in the games. But I don't think it would necessarily a good thing the other way around. Meaning, I don't think a studio with majority white people making a main character that's Black is something to be kind of celebrated too much. I think it's cool, but like the creators of Black Panther were white. The creators of a lot of famous Black characters are white. You want Black representation behind the scenes first and foremost, and then those people be responsible for the creation of the characters, so that we have equity and we have like more creative control over where these characters came from, and who's like having a say over where they belong and where they go.
So do you believe that the telling of the story is more important than the character within the story? Of how the story is told?
I feel like who's telling the story, who's writing the story. That's kind of more what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that, and that's definitely an important conversation that I don't know is happening enough and everything. What do you consider your major achievement? Like I said, a lot of folks that are watching the game then might be going like, "Who is this Neil Jones guy?" And like I said, I definitely read across your name when I was seeing folks that were influencers in that space. I oftentimes jokingly say that I don't like that term because I don't know that what an influencer is supposed to be, but I definitely see your name as being listed as an influencer in the video game space and all of that. But I'm just wondering your thoughts around both the influencer notion and also when you first felt that you were getting recognition in the game.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I just set out to make something cool. I don't do anything that's influencer like, in the sense that I don't really stream games. I don't really do influencer type stuff, right? All I do is like make games and like tweet out some stuff sometimes, but I don't make YouTube videos. I go like I get interviewed a couple times because of my game. But I think my biggest accomplishment has been like just like telling people what happened to me as far as why I had to make this game, and like the fact that I've always been, at this level of quality, and I've been rejected from the game industry for almost 10 years. Like I couldn't get a job anywhere. So people would look at like what I created and say, really, this guy couldn't get a job? Like, and then they start questioning things and saying, like, well, if he's this good and he couldn't get a job, who else is this happening to? And I point out a lot that, when I do these interviews, I say, there's so many other Black creators and Black devs out there who are way better than me, right? And they can't even get like jobs and positioning, or they don't get a seat at the table. So I'm not really concerned about myself. I'm kind of like over the game industry. I kind of just do whatever I want and just make the stuff that I like. But the people who are just coming into it and want to really do something more, they should get more opportunities, and they should be highlighted. It shouldn't just be about the latest Black game developer, and like you put one person on a pedestal and act like they represent all of us. There's so many people out there.
Definitely.
Who would you, in terms of those game developers, let's highlight some of them now. Who do you think would be someone that, say, you would like to interview?
So there's a website called Black Voices in Gaming, and there's a list of them. See, whenever I like start naming off stuff, I know I started naming the people who I talk to on a daily basis, and like that's really biased.
That's not biased. That's the thing. The reason I asked that question, I mean, yeah, there's the Black Voices, but that's one resource. We're talking to you as a resource. And who are you talking to on a regular basis that you think it'd be fun to interview? So even if
I would say the guys at Swim Sanity, they made this game called Swim Sanity. They're cool. Lisette, she's also always awesome. She was the art director for Psychonauts 2.
oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, she's amazing. Pretty much anyone who works at Game Heads is pretty dope. But yeah, no, I really like directing people to different websites, especially like the Black Voices thing, just because they can just scroll and like they'll see the names and the faces and the links where they can just follow the people and all that stuff. So I rather them remember that name rather than like an individual person's name.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, the only reason, like I said, for me, the cool thing is always finding out who people are talking to and who people are related with and connected with. I mean, yeah. I'm more of a, I guess, person who enjoys the web rather than enjoying blankly looking at a screen and scrolling.
Yeah, no, I get it. It's just I just kind of talk to the same dudes just because they're like my friends, but I feel like that's kind of like also how the game industry got in such a bad place. We only talk about the same people all the time, and then the people coming up never get highlighted. Just because I don't know them, so I can't really.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. Hey, Neil, one of the other things I was curious about is a lot of times the games have several basic storylines. I'm not saying that they're all the storylines, but of course there are a lot of war-oriented games. There are a lot of games that are storyboard-based and things of that nature. But I was just wondering, do you think that there is one of the complaints that used to be existing in the movie industry and even to some degree in the author industry, the book industry, was that not enough of our narratives were being told. You weren't getting enough of, say, the country stories or the stories from people in the suburbs and a number of other communities, because it was always that kind of urban kind of conversation in the films that were highlighting our community. So do you think that is a issue in the gaming industry as well, or would you like to see more different types of stories in the gaming industry? Or are you satisfied with what you were saying?
I mean, we're not in a lot of games, so like we can't be overdone because we're not in them in the first place. But yeah, like to your point, there is a lot of different types of stories, and you want to avoid the whole, Grand Theft Auto type storylines for, black characters. For me specifically, I just try to make sure like my characters like kind of make sense in the world. They look good in the world, um, and they're not like anything toxic as far as like pushing in any certain stereotypes or whatever. The cool stereotypes I'm fine with, but anything too negative, I don't like leaning on anything too negative.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Definitely want to push the negative, and that's always something that I know a lot of times people complain. I know even here on the Gamers Den, we've had conversations about how sometimes there is too much of a push to blame the video game industry whenever something horrible happens. I know Toby's talked about this before, but I think that that's too much of an easy scapegoat. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on that because, anytime that something bad happens in the world and they start finding out the person played X, Y, and Z video game and they want to blame the video game for their actions, not letting them take the responsibility for themselves.
Yeah, I feel like that's with everything. When rock and roll first came out, it got blamed for everything. When movies with black people came out, it got blamed for everything. Rap got blamed for everything. So I think it's just like a media thing. It's the newest form of media, so it's going to get blamed for everything. I think once VR like really gets like, is self going, VR is going to get blamed for everything.
Yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I have a couple of friends that are in that whole lane, and I was wondering, with your own characters, have you been exploring that notion of augmented reality and the metaverse and all the things in that space? Because I do have a few friends that are in that lane, and I was just wondering if that's something that you've been exploring, even with your Aerial Knight characters.
Nope. I try to keep myself simple. And like really, accessible to everybody. I don't think VR is as accessible yet to, once everybody has a headset sitting around, then sure, I'll make something for it. But until then,
That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, the PlayStation 5 just got the PSVR 2 that is on the way.
Yeah, but it's like $600, and that's
Yeah.
not really accessible.
Crazy. Which is so. To get back to the game and the programming. Quick question on there. Because you had to port it. You said that you had a group that was helping you port it over to different ones or different platforms. Which platform was the toughest?
Probably PlayStation. It's real hard to get in communication with people from PlayStation. And the achievement system is weird. It's kind of hard to deal with. Like if you got a bug, it's hard to find. But I think everybody got their own, things that they run into with the certain games.
Was the App Store tough because with the battle with Epic and everybody else? Was that
App Store was just tough because they had like size limits, and the game that the base game was kind of bigger than the App Store allowed, so we had to cut it up into 2 different downloads, and then piece it back together once it was downloaded. So that was kind of difficult and weird to deal with. But I didn't really have to deal with it. It was the publisher who dealt with that the most.
Gotcha.
You mentioned earlier, and I saw one of the comments that you made on Twitter about the family nature of your game, but I'd love to hear your stories about how you had this connection apparently with your grandma and everything. Yeah. And I actually have a relationship, even though she's long gone, with my grandmother, who was a librarian, and I consider one of my creative influences as well. But I was just wondering your relationship with your grandma and how she got you into the gaming lanes, because it sounds like she was the one that really got you into games to some degree. So I'd love to hear about your relationship with this ancestor of yours, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, my grandma's still around. It was just like very old, but super proud. She ran, like I said, she ran a restaurant inside of a bowling alley. She raised me, so I was there every day. She would give me a bunch of quarters to go play. She had a Sega Genesis at home for her, where I would just like watch her play Bejeweled. She just had it for Bejeweled. That's what she cared about. Yeah, she just like loved Bejeweled so much. And then I would it had this weird co-op mode, and I would play with her sometimes. But then she got me Sonic to play on there, and the Lion King games and Batman games, all the movie based games. So yeah, that's kind of what got me into it. And she kind of realized that like I didn't really talk as a kid, but whenever someone talked about video games, I would just like open up and just want to talk about it.
It sounds like you also had a rich imagination because in one of these articles I've read about you, it sounds like you made up a lot of games. And I'm thinking these were like tag games or other kind of games. Maybe they weren't as much video games, but I'd love to know about these random games that you were playing with other kids that you were apparently making up. And I'm trying to figure out what these kind of games were and what kind of fun you were having there in the streets of
Yeah.
Detroit.
We didn't have nothing growing up, so like neighborhood kids would come over, and then we'd just be standing around. And I would just come up with stuff. Somebody would be a vampire. If they tagged somebody else, they became a vampire, and then last one. And then the games I would come up with had no rules. It would just be like a premise, like a storyline, and then there would be no ending. Everybody's vampires now, and then we just be standing around saying, "Okay, we're vampires." But the older I got, the more I was like, all right, we should kind of make rules for this stuff, and then I would make certain different types of like games and put on shows and things like that, just because we were bored.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I feel your pain on that one.
I feel like that's a lot of people though. That's not like anything game dev specific. And a lot of people want to kind of go down that route if they had a chance and opportunity. I just kind of got lucky in a lot of aspects and picked the right field at the right time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It also sounds like you did some early games that were definitely in that notion of using games for activism, for lack of a better term, because it sounds like not so much your game, but some of the games you were involved in. Like I know that one of these games was called Dot's Home, and apparently it explored historical housing injustices, which apparently are still going on, and then Click, which is definitely a game about prejudices in general. I know a lot of people are even worried about clicks to this day as well. So I just wondering your thoughts around the notion of artists being activists and advocates as well, because it sounds like some of your early work, whether it was your own work or that you were doing with fun, was in that space.
Yeah, I feel like things are either really cool or really meaningful, and it's hard to do both, right? So at first, I just really wanted to make really cool stuff, but then I was like, I hopped on a couple projects that was like, okay, you can do this interesting mechanic, but it can also have meaning and tell a story. That's Home was based off of my grandmother. My grandma died. And it was, it's loosely, the character was based off of her, but the story is like its own story about her going back in time and meeting her parents, and seeing like how the injustice like grew from a certain point. But you want to make some meaningful stuff, but a lot of people don't really play those things. So you kind of got to take the mindset of like what the movie people say, one for them, one for me, type of thing. So, but I enjoy both. I like stuff that has meaning but can also entertain. But I don't really like long form games in general. So, like, I play stuff here and there, but like That's Home is very short. Never Yield is very short. I feel like people can kind of like justify, playing either one of them, because Never Yield is very action based, and That's Home is very like story based and historic based. So if you have an afternoon, you can kind of pick what mood you're in and pick the game that best suits you for that.
That makes a lot of sense. As y'all were talking earlier about some of those early games, I was reflecting. I think I've told me this before, on some of those early games, and y'all were talking about one of those games. I forgot which one it was, that was very simplistic in its nature and everything. And I was thinking about like the early days of Pong, and even one of the early kind of electronic games that made no sense to me, which is the early football game where all the characters would kind of like just go in the middle because of that lovely magnet that was down there underneath and all of that. So you couldn't really run plays like you can in the modern day video games of like Madden and stuff, because they were all going to be there kind of congregating in the middle. So it was like one of the most silliest games. But then again, Pong was as well. But that is how I got introduced to video game, trying to break through that wall and everything. So I was just wondering, what was the first video game that you ever played that you remember and everything? And was it something like Pong that you're sitting there now going like, damn, that game was silly?
It would probably be like Star Fox Adventures. I feel like that was the first game with like a real story. That I was sitting there with like the guide and everything, and I was like trying to understand. It was like really simple puzzles, but being a kid, you're like, this is the hardest thing ever. And I was really trying to just like play and figure out what was going on. So like that was like the first like game I actually had to think about, that I just didn't put on and mindlessly play. That and like Animal Crossing and small little cute games.
If somebody's watching now, or is they watching in Team Rerun or something else, and they are saying, "Hey, Neil's seems cool. Jacoby's over there trying to get an esports center. This sounds like a world that I want to get into," and all of that. Other than facing those obstacles, some of which you already alluded to, including not enough of us in leadership positions, what is the advice that you either give or would give to folks that are saying, "Hey, I think I want to get into the gaming industry"?
Yeah, I don't give advice to like people. It's not because I don't want to. I think it's best to not give advice to people because everybody's path is super different. I had gotten a lot of advice through the 10 years that I was trying to get into the game industry, and it all sounded good, but none of it was good, because if you talk to like 20 different people about how they got into the game industry, you get like 20 different answers. So like the best thing is to like find out what you like to do best. Look at job boards and see, different type of jobs. From we always hear about the same artists and coder jobs or whatever, but there's so much more stuff to do as far as like marketing and HR and things like that, and all that stuff matters. So if I were to give any advice, it would be, don't limit yourself to just being an artist or coder, and then follow your own like path of what you like to do, like because the stuff I like to do is real specific, So I don't tell anyone, hey, you need to do what I did, because if it doesn't work for them, I'll feel terrible, and then they wasted like years of their life.
Is there any coursework? I know you don't want to give advice, but is there anything that you think that kids need to be at least thinking about in the sense of learning if they think they want to get into this space? Like I'm thinking most people might need to have some knowledge of math and some other things that go into coding, and definitely some knowledge if you're going to do historical things of history might be helpful. But I was just wondering if there are any courses that you think that folks might want to consider if they are thinking about doing this at say high school or junior high or even college level.
Actually, another good question though. Were you guys influenced by Pinkman on this one?
Pikmin? Yeah, that the Bloom had Pikmin influence on it.
Because I noticed, I was like, wait a second, I know that character from somewhere.
But as far as like what courses and things people can go into, I would say there's like kids now have YouTube, and that's way more than we had. So I would say just go through YouTube and look at game development 101 type of stuff, and then just kind of follow along as best as you can until you find something. Oh, I really like modeling, or I really like this level design aspect of it, or I really like when he started talking about the marketing and things like that. Find what you like the best, and then like try to like dive into that and be really good at that, and find something that you can like learn via a program that they use to create that kind of stuff, or just whatever you find interesting. Because like if you find something that's really fun or entertaining to you to do, then it's easier for you to do it rather than you forcing yourself to do something that you hate.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. The other thing I was curious about is that I'm sure there's somebody that's listening right now saying to themselves, I've got the perfect video game, and this man has his own company and everything. So, is there any opportunities for folks to pitch ideas to you should they have that game, or does your company pretty much stick to the things that you are creating and those that are other members of your team? Or there's somebody thinking, hey, I've got the perfect game that deals with mice or whatever else they might be having on their mind and all of that. Is that something that you explore and that you are open to, or do you pretty much have a core team and y'all are the ones that are creating these
it's basically it's me. I wouldn't suggest like pitching your game to anybody, really. I would say if there's something that you really want to make, then hey, you gotta learn how to make that. because everybody has ideas, and I'm really good at making my own ideas. I'm really bad at making other people's ideas. So I would be the worst person to pitch to.
Makes a lot of sense there. Hey, and I know the other thing that Jacoby is big on is esports. So I just wondered, do any of these games have any esports components of what you have got going on and everything? So will we see an esport version of Aerial Knight at some point or another? Maybe even at Jacoby soon to come E-Center here in the Bull City.
Not really. That's kind of up to like players after a certain point. I kind of just make a game that's fun. Make something that can appeal to like speedrunners if they want to use it like that. But you never know what they're gonna pick up on. Sometimes speedrunners play Animal Crossing. I'm like, what are you doing? So I kind of don't try to like look out for something I don't have any control over.
That is funny. There are a lot of speedrunners that do play Animal Crossing, which I'm still trying to figure out why.
They try to speed run certain aspects of it. Like how can I collect the most money or pay off my mortgage the fastest? Or they speed run The Sims and do certain things. And I'm like, that's cool, but I would never be able to predict what they would want to kind of speed run. So I kind of just like make stuff accessible, and then if they take advantage of it, cool.
Yeah.
In that same line, how easy is it for a person in the video game lane to make a profit? Because I know a lot of folks that love the creative side, but there are also folks that want to make some sort of money off of what they're doing. And I'm thinking that some of these games are created, and some of you creators may not make any dime, and you may even sometimes have to have other jobs. I have a dear friend that's in the music lane, and he's very much still driving Uber and sometimes other cars as well. So I just wondered, how easy is it for a creative game designer to live off of their games, or you have to do other things in the working world just to make ends meet?
Yeah, you definitely have to do other things. I think the people who make the best games in the world, or like the things that everyone in the world is playing, they are the only ones who get to like not work. But no, while I was making Never Yield, I had two jobs, like during most of the development. So I would say, I would treat it like as like a passion project type of thing, a hobby. And then once you get offers, and you do the math. If you can make it your main job, then you go for it. But you just gotta be real smart with your money. People kind of make foolish choices that they would make fun of somebody else for making. But since it's film, they don't see it. So I try to be very self-aware with that kind of stuff with myself. I don't really go nowhere or do anything. So it's really easy for me to save money and like be really good with it. But other people make other choices.
Yeah, that makes sense. What do you say to those folks that I've talked about this on some other shows, but there are people that get frustrated because they hear those inner voices and those outer voices? It sounds like your grandmother is very cooperative and was very cooperative in the sense of being supportive. I imagine other family members were, but I'm sure there were some folks in the streets of Detroit that were going like, "You're not gonna make it. There's no way that game's gonna make it," and all of that. So and I'm sure there were even times that you started listening to that inner voice in your head saying that it's not going to be successful. So how do you take on those voices, and how do you deal with those? Because whether it's the voice that you're hearing internally, or those outside critics, I'm sure that definitely in the gaming industry, it has to be something that is very real. And I was just wondering how you dealt with it.
Yeah, no, I gave up. I listened to those voices because they were right. I was 29 when I started Never Yield, and it was going to be my last thing that I made because the game industry wasn't working out. I couldn't find a job. I was working 2 day jobs. I was like, maybe if I just focus on like one of these day jobs, I can save up and start getting a house or something, right? So before I just kind of gave up on game development altogether, I said I'm going to make this Never Yield thing that I've been thinking about. If it works out, cool. If not, I gave it my best shot, and I can have something to show to be like, yo, I had the skills to do this. I just couldn't, get the opportunities to do so. So yeah, Never Yield was like a kind of Hail Mary. But people liked what I was doing and they supported it. So I made that choice and I doubled down on kind of just working on that while I was doing my day jobs and got really lucky. I was at the right place at the right time for a lot of cases. People say, "Oh, the game was so amazing." I appreciate them saying that, and I think I like my game a lot. But luck played heavily into it. Just being like kind of right there when people were looking for black games to play.
Yeah, that makes sense. Is there any other new games that folks need to be looking from you and your company that you have not put out there yet, but that you are developing and are letting folks know about? So, is there any new games that folks need to be paying attention to in the near future?
Yeah, I'm working on stuff. I'm hoping to have something out next year. Announcements will come, whenever stuff is ready. I announced Never Yield a little bit too early, just because I didn't know any better. But yeah, I feel like the next time around, the game will be announced when it's actually done and ready to kind of launch. So, hopefully, the game's done and I can announce it like a couple of weeks beforehand to kind of give people a heads up and spread the news around. But I really can't complain about anything. I'm just happy to be here.
That makes sense. I know Never Yield also deals with the George Floyd case, and part of that was how it was created. But I was just wondering, that's the narrative that we hear is it's tied to George Floyd, but how much of that was the tie to your creating the game and everything? Because I do know it came out around the time of the George Floyd case, and I definitely know tomorrow will be at one of the cultural centers I work at, and there'll be a Beyond Policing group that'll be at that particular space on tomorrow evening. So how much of this whole policing and police violence was involved in the creation of Never Yield?
Yeah, so not that much. I was working on the game way before the George Floyd incident happened, but the game industry started like realizing how much they messed up like around that time after that happened, and like when talking about my game that came up a lot. It within the game, there are police chasing a character, and that was just more of the because of the story more than anything to do with police violence or anything like that. There's definitely a conversation to be had about that, but I don't know if my game was like ever like the best example of it because I kind of try to lean away from more of the negative aspects of it, as far as like we had to hear about it so much that I wanted to just to kind of be an escape. But it's a reality that police automatically chase black people who running down the street. Like, so it's more of a factor of life for me rather than like me trying to send a message or anything like that.
You now have the budget of Red Dead, of any Rockstar game, or God of War, or even The Last of Us. If you have that budget, what would you make?
Look, man, that's like $500 million. Like, I want it. I would say no.
Really?
Too much. It's too much pressure. Couldn't do it.
You say you would say no to that, Neil, but now what if somebody came to you and they said, "Hey, Neil, this is a great game. This is an amazing game. This game needs to be made into a Hollywood movie." Would you take that $1 billion, or do you not take that
to
one?
make my game into a Hollywood movie?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll take that because it's not anything for me to do. Like I just add to the story. See, but creating $1 billion game, that's like an 8-year commitment. You got people working for you, and depending on you for this to be good. I'm like, that's a lot of pressure. I don't do pressure.
A lot of pressure.
I will pass.
See, that's a fun question because a lot of people will jump on. Yeah, I'm gonna make all that money. I'm gonna make all that money, but they don't think about what you just talked about.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not the money guy. I don't really care about money. It's a necessity, and I deal with it because of that. But I hate money. I'm very not communist. That's a bad word. But you know what I mean. Where I'm just like I just want enough to get by and be good. I don't want to worry about my bills.
Exactly what you mean. I can't stand dealing money either. I feel It puts up barriers. It causes problems. Too many people get upset over money. No. Let's just get the job done. Let's
Right.
make
I
it.
just want everybody to be good. That's all.
Exactly.
Just want everybody to be good and sit there and relax and all of that. Hey, Neil, you mentioned it earlier. What is a job that people don't think about when they think about the video game industry? Because I know when I look at movies, and I've definitely had friends in that lane, there are thousands of people that are in those industries, and I imagine the same with gaming as well. I know that Jatovi's sister has done some voiceover for games, and I know that there are other things that are involved in the gaming industry as well. But what are some jobs that you wish that you had the skill sets to do that are in those lanes of the various parts of video game making?
I would say probably 2D art. I'm really not good at 2D art as much. I do graphic stuff, like logos and things like that. I'm pretty good at that, but just like drawing, I can't draw. And it surprises people all the time. People ask me what's something I'm not good at. I was like, I can't draw at all. I do 3D and stuff like that, but that's digital. But if you put a pencil and paper in front of me, nope, you're gonna get a stick figure. Uh, but yeah, that and probably like the financial, like signing checks type of stuff. It takes like all my energy to kind of get that stuff right because I'd be so worried about messing up something and tax people coming after me.
That's that money aspect. I told you I can't stand it myself. I hate it.
It stresses me out.
Neil, you told me the other aspect of the money aspect, and I see Jahan joined us as well, is that they say, and notice I said they say because I haven't had this experience, that this popularity also leads to popularity with whatever gender and folks that you might be chasing in your social life. So as they say that this leads to this kind of success. So did you have that experience, Neil, where like the women were knocking on your door and all of that, or they sit there go like, no, that's the nerd. I'm not messing with the nerds.
I've had offers. I don't know. It's something about being on like the front page of IGN that make people want to hit you up.
Play on, player.
But I don't really like. I'm in Detroit. Ain't nobody up here, so I'm definitely flying down there. So, so it don't really mean nothing to me.
And don't let Mark fool you, by the way. He normally has like balloons behind him. Church out by his house all the time. Mark's a playboy right there.
Don't believe the mess. Don't believe that. I definitely don't believe Jacoby and all that. I do have to ask you something on a serious note because you did mention Detroit. Detroit ain't that far from Flint. So I'm just wondering, as one that is paying attention to what goes on in the world, your thoughts around what was happening there with that whole water situation, and is it spilled over at all to Detroit and also just Detroit's economy? Because I know there for a minute Detroit was the car capital of the world, and y'all are not doing as well into that category. But I just wanted your take on your area of the country.
I mean, Flint was a black city. Black people used to struggle, so they getting through it. It didn't really spill over too much into Detroit, but wasn't nothing we could do. That was a bunch of mistakes white people made. So I was like, I feel like we talked about it as much as we could. I brought it up a couple of times saying, how terrible it was. But, it's like talking to a wall, nothing you can really do about it other than bring it up every now and then and, remind people how terrible it is. But there's a lot of terrible stuff happening to poor people all over the place. So, every single day I'm like, it's rough out here.
It's definitely rough out here, but a lighter note, and it's still rough for y'all in this other category. I know that Jatovi does commentating for the on-the-field announcement of our Durham Bulls and also our Carolina Hurricanes. But, Detroit used to have some amazing sports teams. I'm not sure how the Tigers are doing in the baseball, but I know that definitely the basketball team was amazing at one point. Don't know that y'all are amazing now in all of that space, but I just wondered your take on the Detroit sports teams because y'all were definitely dominating there for a second, but I don't know any Detroit team that is doing all that well. Even though they do say, and I'm a diehard Vikings fan, even though I'm a North Carolinian, that the Lions will be coming back soon if they're not back already. But I just wondering your take on the sports line.
I don't do sports, but I know enough about sports to know how much of a travesty it is that the Pistons aren't called the Bears, so that Detroit will have the Lions, Tigers, and Bears. It's like they dropped the ball on that. It was an easy layup, and they didn't take it. But there's still time. We can rename the Pistons to the Bears, and then we can have marketing forever. Uh, I would be so happy if they did that.
I can hear the rhymes now. Lion, Tigers, and Bears. Oh my! Yeah,
Right.
it
Right.
worked.
Like people will be sick of us in like a week, but it was like no one will ever forget.
John's down there in New York. They're not exactly doing that great either. Even though maybe the Yankees will do something this year. Maybe the Knicks will do something this year. Are the Knicks going to do anything this year?
I mean, they said I mean, they got some players, but I don't think they're gonna do anything. There's no way, absolutely no way. I mean, shoot, Brooklyn Nets is suffering right now, so I don't know.
Yeah, suffering's putting it lightly.
Yeah, we had hopes
because I can't talk.
It is what it is at this point.
I can't talk because I'm a Doc Rivers fan because of our days at Marquette. That team is doing well, my college team, but yeah, Philly, who knows what they're going to do in the playoffs because they seem to sometimes make it but then choke in the playoffs. So we'll see whether he even has the job after this year or whether that'll happen or not. It'll be interesting to see what happens in that regard. Hey, Jahan, you might want to tell Neil a little bit about your own video game experience. I know you've been involved in it for a while, even being a player and even having your own company. Neil is definitely an award-winning video game maker, but I'm sure he'd love to hear a little about your story as well.
Yeah, man.
So I am pretty much based out of New York City. I mean, I grew up in the arcade era, which has been obviously extremely huge, for my childhood, because I mean, it was pretty much everywhere. You couldn't go a block without seeing an arcade at a bodega or a laundromat or anything like that. So we definitely were privileged in that sense, because if you really think about it, right? Like, and I realize that now, right? Before then, most times kids would complain about not being able to afford an actual console. But to be honest with you, better than console. It's just that the fact that we couldn't have it at our own household and we had to go outside to go and play it. So I think that like having arcades was way much better and much more of a privilege, because it's like the arcades never matched the console itself. So just being able to go to arcade and spend quarters, it was just definitely a huge privilege, and it was awesome because the graphics is dope. Being able to play amongst people was really dope. So I definitely came from that background and worked numerous arcades around like the age of 13, and I'm 39 now. So just having doing that for a long period of time, like decades, kind of transitioned to the whole esports portion of things. So I have a great understanding about service, hospitality, as of like running events, running tournament brackets, just doing it efficiently, making sure things finish on time. So it's like, this is something that I've gained through my own experience. Not something that I was taught or, had to go to school for. So it's been, I was able to use those life lessons and to be able to utilize that now in esports. So I actually just came back from North Carolina. I don't know if Mark or Jatobi told me I was in North Carolina for the weekend.
You didn't tell me. Otherwise, I would have to look you up and everything. No,
Yeah, I was in Wilson.
You tell nobody.
I got busy over the weekend. And you got nuts.
Yeah, so I was in Wilson, North Carolina, helping out with an event. So for me, again, my mission is to make gaming accessible everywhere as much as possible. So, for me, for someone who's in New York City, not everyone has the same privileges as I do when it comes to gaming, because gaming is extremely huge in New York City in the sense of competitions, competitors. We probably have one of the best players in the world in a sense, because they come from New York, a lot of the champions who participate in tournaments. But other regions who are much more smaller, or they don't have the resources to do certain things, I try to help out as much as I can to make it accessible for everyone. So that is my mission. is to travel out to tournaments for people who don't have the experience, like don't have the expertise, to give them my expertise so this way people can enjoy and have a great experience, and then even uplift them to want to do more, right? So this past weekend, you know, people never, there was a couple of people who never been to a tournament before, and they were like, wow, this is great, this is dope, the tournament went extremely fast. It was, it was fun for them. So they were asking me questions like, hey, where can I go to tournaments? And I sent them to a Discord that's in North Carolina, like a huge big fighting game Discord. So I gave them access to that, and now they're part of the community now, because they're gonna be like, hey, I didn't even know that this particular location is in my backyard. So, stuff like that for me, that's what I'm trying to do, is give information, get people to be more active, and be a part of the community, so that, they can get more experience, and then also probably want to become one of the top players maybe sooner or later. And I've seen a lot of people who started small and became well known for what they do. So,
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. By the way, Neil, you're going to miss something fun we might not do in this time, but you will have to definitely make a return, because I saw that you said you're going to have to head out in a bit. But every once in a while, I am horrible at video games, also horrible at trivia and other games. And there are a couple of games where you have to do drawings and you have to do
Yeah, I heard about that.
I am very bad at. So just only like to definitely have me embarrass myself while playing those games and all in those spaces. So
Yeah, I heard about the
come
Minecraft
back
incident.
to another Gamers Den so you can see me embarrass myself trying to say, there'll be a game and they'll ask for a clue, like, what is a microwave, and my drawing of a microwave looks nothing like a microwave. So it totally confuses Jacoby and everybody else involved in the game. And there have been a couple of notorious examples of Jacoby's over there laughing like, yes, I know some of those that you've done, Mark, and all in that space. So we'll have to have you come back, and hope you'll become a regular member of the Gamers Den. But I did, like I said, I found you through LinkedIn and that article, but I do hope that you will make a return trip, since I did see that chat that you have to bounce shortly and all in that note.
Yeah, no, thanks so much for having me. Yeah, just hit me up anytime. I'll hop back on.
Yeah, definitely. You're more than welcome to come on anytime. And I'm going to try and actually download your game, and we'll play it, online one of these times. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's also if you got Twitch Prime, it's part of the Prime giveaway this month, so you can download it for free.
Yo, you didn't, as they say less. I can do that right now. Look at her. Minimize these. Look at the Amazon game right there.
All right, but it was a good talk to y'all. I gotta head out. I hope to talk to y'all soon.
Yeah, definitely. And we look forward to finding out what the next game will be. And like I said, I'm gonna download the game right now.
Hey, I'm looking forward to the next game too. Hopefully it work out.
It will.
It will work out.
All right, have a good one.
All right, you too.
all right, man, take it.
Yeah, have a good one. All right, there's the website right there. Aerialnight.com. And look at that. I claimed never yield. I just did.
Cool. So, Jahan, you got to come up with another guest. I think I'll come up with 2 or 3. So I stumbled across Neil when we were trying to find people, and I just reached out to him on LinkedIn. So now I'm putting the pressure on you. Not that I'm not going to keep looking, but yeah.
Hey, it's all good, man. It's all good.
I'm gonna save the game. I'm gonna play it when he's on. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play it next time he comes on.
That makes sense.
Because now that I own the game on the Twitch Prime stuff, we're good to go now.
Yep. Might as well play it when he's on and everything. What were you playing today? Sometimes when I pop in here in the middle of a game, I was hoping Neil would be here, but what were you playing on this particular day, or what did you have on your mind playing for this particular day? And what was the scripted? Because I know you've got scripted things that you've been doing as well. So I didn't know we probably interrupted the script with Neil in that whole conversation.
No. I wanted to make sure he got the opportunity, because I wanted to talk about all the stuff that Neil had going on, because he has a lot of great stuff going on.
Yes.
But the only thing in terms that I had that there were 2 games. One I've done a first impressions of, which is War Pips. I wrote up a whole script on how I felt about War Pips and everything. I didn't do the video of it this time yet, which I've got to record the video, but I did a full-blown first impressions write-up on it. I'm going to try and get that out there. The review that I did for Forspoken is out, and the first impression I did for Recipe for Disaster is out. Those 2 are both up on Loot Break. As a matter of fact, Donovan Erskine, who's also on Loot Break writing some stuff, he actually did an interview with Neil, and his interview was actually printed up on Loot Break, and it's lootbreak.gg.
Okay, cool.
So you can read that interview that he did there, which is really a great interview. But yeah, War Pips. Jahan, you need to download War Pips.
Wait, what's that?
You played Clash Royale, right?
Yeah, of course.
You got hooked on Clash Royale like everybody else, right? This
I did, but then I broke the chain, so.
Broke the chain.
No, I got you. This right here.
Let me see what this is working with. All right, let me see.
I was shocked because when I started, I was like, yeah, that's going to be stupid. No, man. This right here is tough. I mean, it's a single-player game. So you're not... I don't know how much adding in the multiplayer would work. It might be a little tough just because of the way the game plays. I mean, it could extend the life of it, so they may do it. It's still in the first year of its release. It got released last year in April. Last April it got released. So it's less than a year old. Its pre-release was done. I'll start on a new game. I'll do major. The Sergeant and Private, I think, are harder. I don't want to do those because I can't really get past this part because I get to a point and it gets you so upset. But did you ever play XCOM?
Yeah, and I hated it.
So it's similar to XCOM in the sense that you have to strategically use your particular army resources. But it's like Clash Royale because you don't control anything. The only thing you control is I'm sending out this person or that person.
Yeah, of course, which makes sense.
And so right here, the start is where I am. I'm trying to take over this whole island. The only way to do that is to take on the boss, who the boss is way over here. So I've got to go through these different sections. I can actually go straight to her if I wanted to, because the enemy army strength, it grows the longer you take. So it can end up being small, but the thing is, right now my only loadout are these guys. This is all I can put up there. However, to set this one up, I'm going to use this guy because I've got 2 of him. I've got 2 of the tactician. I've only got 1 of him, so I don't want to use that one. I'll use this to slow the people down since I got 3 of them. That may be enough, but I can go back to my map and decide which area I want to try for. So I could take on these guys, but that only gives me the option to go to this area next or this area next. The nuclear bomb here, or this big bomb, it gives me the question mark on what I can receive in terms of my rewards for beating that section. Like here, I can get this guy, I can get the oil, and I can get the stim pack. Here, I get the heavy gunner, the oil rig, or the drone, which the drone is freaking awesome. And here, I get the regular guy, the shield guy, or the tear gas grenade. Which I'll probably go for the heavy gunner since I need more of those guys. But I still want to go up here because I can go here, 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 and get this. But as I'm doing that, the army is building up there. So I'll go here just to start. And I've got my mission. I've got these guys. That's the enemy lineup that I'm having to deal against. So my 3 here, this won't slow that down, but hopefully I can get enough of an army built so then I can take them on. I can do upgrades, but I have to get my Warbucks and my combat coupons to spend at the arms dealer, but I have none right now. We'll see if this works. So when you start off with, that's my side, and then the other side, of course. Right there, I've got to destroy that one. So to start off, I've got 2 of these combat points. I want to deploy at least 2 people. I can spend those combat points here. I can unlock an extra person, but I've got to wait for my bucks to go up. They're fighting up there. He's got 4 people coming. These warning areas. Oh shoot! Let me put this down. Slow them down up there. Slow them down there. Slow down. Whoop, wrong way. All right, I can upgrade my characters. So now there's an enemy wave, and that's what this warning area is. But you just keep going. I can speed up my attack if I need to, or I can have my men go defensive. But if you see down here at the bottom corner, the more defensive they get, the slower it runs down both the defense and the attack. When there's an enemy wave, it's usually good to slow down, but sometimes you can send your men full-fledged on a bigger attack. And if you do that, then your movement speed and your weapon accuracy are faster. When you slow down, your defense is better and your weapon range is better. So you can shoot further, of course. But this is the first board. The first board is really easy. So now I should take this on and end up winning this one easy. But yeah, this is the whole game. And then you take over each section, and the further you get... Alright, I got my heavy gunner, I got a new one. You can look at your stats if you need to. I never really look at the stats because they make me feel bad. So now, if I do a loadout, now I've got another heavy gunner that I can add in. But since I use this guy, I'm down to 1. I've got my drone that I can use. So after each section, or once it's used, it's done.
Yeah.
And it sucks because if you lose, they're still done. You don't get them back at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, this game right here is addictive as crap. Because this first map, you get hooked. You're like, okay, yeah, this is going to be okay. I can get through this. Then they get you on that second map. Like this, I need those 2. So the loadout, since I'm going to get 2 of these guys, I'm going to use him again. What else am I going to get? My rewards. Oh, I can get another tactician. So I can use my tactician. And I get the oil barrel. You can sell the oil for more money, and that helps out. I'll use that and move them down. And it's easy if you use it on the keyboard and mouse. But as you see, I've now got 15 Warbucks. I've got 1 combat coupon. This would give me that. That tells you the distance of the whole map. That also tells you the duration. So to go from here to here is 12 minutes. The enemy spawns heavy in these warning areas. Once it wraps back around, the characters get a little tougher. So you want to beat it within that 12 minutes. And these points or these medals are used to increase the amount of war pips that I can put on the screen, They also help me increase the amount. Ooh, let me slow these guys down. And these guys down. There we go. Oh, put it down. I don't have enough money.
I don't even think you need it.
Well, they've got a ton of people over here, and hopefully I can get my defense up.
Oh, you look like you're doing good.
Only lost one. Okay, I can upgrade. And see, this is the way it went last time when I did the first map. I went straight through it. I was like, this is all right. This is easy. I got to the second map. Man! Because you'll make some bad decisions because you'll think that it's a little bit easier. Let me increase my people. And I got a big enemy wave coming. Do a little defense. And you can upgrade your people twice. It takes 4 the first time, 5 the second time. I haven't even put my tactician on the field. All right, you guys run up, run up. Woo. But yeah, this game is addictive as crap.
No, not bad. I can tell. It's good. They put a lot of thought into it. Oh, yeah. Oh wow, they got killed.
Yeah. This isn't good. Put me another one down. I had 2 people out there. So now I'm spending on the cash. Alright, now I got a full staff. Coming up on this big wave. Alright, I upgraded my people fully. So that increases their range by a small amount. Oh, this is not good. I got another wave coming.
You still trying to get that 5-star restaurant?
5-star restaurant? No, this is a different game.
Different game.
Yeah, this is War Pips. It's a strategy game.
Strategy is a good thing. Cool. But you still got about 30 minutes. I'll probably pop back in. I'm dealing with the car guy right now. I'm popping out. I know John's got you covered.
With the car guy?
You know we have a car show too.
Oh, yeah. So the technician comes in and he increases your stats, of course. So everybody up here has increased stats, which is great. Add more people. All right, now I can rush. Get everybody up there. And you only have 3 lives throughout the whole each map. So if you lose, oh, it's not even showing it up there. But yeah, you only got 3 lives to go through. Big truck. Ooh, I like the missile. And see, you get like me and you'll get greedy. Like this right here would be great to have. But then I gotta go here, here, and here.
You get that. I believe in you.
Because that missile fires low damage, don't fire rocket, at random infantry. Okay. Take these guys out because I still want another one of those guys. Get you. I did the heavy gun. Save the heavy gun.
Heavy gunner, man.
The heavy gun, I don't want to waste them though. Because yeah, you see up top here, these are my lives.
Yeah,
If I lose,
that's it.
screwed.
But you got to do it.
See what I'm saying? This, like I said, this thing right here, and then the arms dealer is good to have because then it'll add an extra character up there in the arms dealer. So now you have 3 things. All right. It just sucks because then, like I said, when they all start coming and you're like, man, stop, slow down. Especially on these. Oh, I didn't even notice it's a short one. All right, put them on defense. Clear out some people.
Mm-mm.
See what I'm saying? Because, it sucks. That blew up my man. And then you got to sit there and wait till you level up before you can get another point to use. And I'm down to nobody. What? See what I'm saying? They cheating me. They cheating me. All right, blew him up, blew him up. I need my heavy gunner.
How much it cost? Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I got one. I don't want him to die.
He'll be all right.
Man! There's about 50 people out there. I need more people. I need to upgrade. Okay, I can upgrade. Alright. Need another tactician to get out there.
And now you got him still out there.
Yeah. They're surrounding him. Okay. Oh, I can press up. I just noticed.
Look at that. See?
Whew. See, those are the ones that get tough because then once you end up with like one person sitting there, I mean, you hung out to dry. Yeah, this is the free game that's on the Epic Store right now.
Oh, really?
Yep. Yep. See, this is where it's gonna be tough.
You gotta put everything out there.
Yeah. All right,
That can't be cheap.
I gotta put that out there. I want to put my heavy gunner. Gotta put my heavy gunner out there. I'll put my tactician out there. Put my little oil rig out there.
Pure gas.
I should be good. I'm holding on to tear gas because I gotta save that because that does a little bit of damage. Oh, and there are mines out there. I hate it with the minefield.
Can't you just shoot him down?
Nope. Because the turret won't. It doesn't do anything to the mines. I can sit here and shoot the people across the way.
Oh, you can manually do that.
Yeah, it'll let me shoot the people here, of course. But the tough part. You upgrade that. Because you see, it shows your accuracy on how far away I can shoot. He's got the whole daggone tower right there. I can't target the tower. more people. Need more money. I like it when you get the dogs. The dogs actually hunt your people or the other guys down.
Mm.
I only have 2 people? That sucks. And that tower right there is killing my people. Give me that. Need a heavy gunner out there. He's got a grenader. I'm trying not to overheat my gun. I don't want my turret to get overheated. Need a tactician. Now the fun begins. I hate it. Also, you get these bombs at the end where you don't want to make it to the bomb area because they'll kill you.
Mm.
I just lost my heavy gunner. That stinks. My turret overheated. Just needed to go. Come on, I need another one. Need some defense. Hopefully they won't kill my tactician.
Your turn's up.
Huh?
Your turn's
Oh,
up.
good call. Good call. I killed my tactician, that son of a gun. Alright. Oh, my turret overheated. Shoot. Give me some money, give him a tactician. That tactician is gold. I'm gonna have to push after this drive here if I can get through it.
Mm.
I keep forgetting to push 1 because that's where my... Okay, got him. Give me that. Might be able to push up. Might be able to push up. Son of a... Stop dying! Get my heavy gunner back out there. Oh, we can push now. I am so close. I'm like right there. I keep losing people, you stinkers. And I can't shoot my turret that far. We're almost at the end of this one. Only got 3 guys? guy, my heavy gunner's about to die. Oh, we made it out of there. Okay. I've got 2 people on the board now. Oh, I need some more people. These guys are coming back too strong. I'm trying to beat it before. See, this is. Come on, come on. Give me some more people.
Oh, who's that? Okay. Damn, they got a lot of people, man. Overheat. Oh man.
That's all right. Throw out another 2 people. Hopefully, put a little defense. All right, push up. Those are easy guys. All right, mowed them down. Good, good, good. Throw in another heavy gunner and 1 more of those guys. I'm not going to make it before the bomb hits. It's going to stink. Oh, turret's back.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Come on, we got to push up. We got to make it. Tactician, you, come on. We got to make it. I don't want the bomb to happen. There we go. Got a shot. Yeah. See what I'm saying? This game is just. All right, what did we get? All right, I like that. Need another turret. Need another drone. Need another. Oh, that's a sniper. I got my 2 heavy gunners. Yep, got a sniper and a tactician. See, and these are the stats that'll come up. Tax dollars wasted, 1,000 plus. 55 total explosions. Collateral damage, 43,000. Okay. Wow. I had 48 deaths. Gunners. Woo! So now, I mean, I could try and get this other stuff if I need it. There's nothing really that I want besides that rocket. I would love that rocket. Go to my loadout. What do I have? Oh. What's in my arms dealer? Oh, a tactician. I don't want a tactician. Then my upgrades. I don't want that. Improve that. There we go. Did my upgrades on my turret. What am I getting in this map? Okay, I can get one of those guys in. Use another turret. What's on the next one, though? I'll save the turret for this one. And now, I gotta save my turret. where the whole decision process comes into play. So I'll use my drones and my heavy gunner.
That's it. You don't need nothing else.
Let's see what happens. Take these dudes out. Whoop, here he comes. Money, that and that. There we go. Got me a packed house too. Ooh, there's an enemy wave already. See, I'm struggling already. Alright, my tactician's up. I still need my gunner. I mean, my heavy gunner. Wow! They are wiping me out. Down to 2 people. Yeah, see, this is going to be a little tough. I got nobody.
Oh no.
I'm gonna drop a drone. Yeah, see, I'm gonna lose this one. Yeah, I'm gonna lose this one. There's nothing I can do on this one.
Damn.
Yeah, that one. That's not even gonna work. Anybody ever put out there is getting wiped out. See what I'm saying? It just jumps so high in terms of difficulty. It gets me upset sometimes. Now, then you have to go and redeploy somebody else. Didn't want to use that. I'll do my tactician and my heavy gunner. And then I'll win this time, which sucks. But yeah, this game is a trip. This game is definitely a trip. Addictive as crap, Jahan. You need to play this. Come on, hit him. Oh, people already dying. Turret overheated. That stinks. Put my heavy gunner out there. Somebody make a difference. Need a bigger army. Oh, here goes Mark again. Come on. Keep hiding behind that wall. I can't get past that wall. Alright, I made it through that wave. Whew. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Keep on pushing up. Keep going. I got a chance. I may get it this time. I gotta make it before this wave. Got him. Whew. That's a tough one. I didn't want the barbed wire. Ooh, I can get the dogs. Mm. Oh, it's got a turret. Arms dealer. Alright, the missile's not going to do me any good. Seven of them, I can go there. one. Throw me in some gas. Alright, I should be able to win this one. Then I move one closer and then I can finally beat this map. Oh, there's a short one? Oh, I didn't realize all my people were dead. So we got 2 people out there. Alright, I can get my heavy gunner up. Oh Lord, what's... Yeah, see, this is gonna be another tough one. Another freaking tough one. I hate that guy. I got nobody. Alright, let's ride. Let's do this. Alright, I got my sniper guy. Down to 2 people again. There we go. Gotta keep pushing him back with that gas. Now it sucks because he's coming through. Two, three. I might be able to win this one. Still down to 2 people. Alright. these single guys are good. And I gotta eat any wave that says they're good. Throw up a grenade. Come on. If I can make it through this enemy wave, I think I can win this. I think I can win this. There we go. Give me that. There we go. What? Come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go, made it. Whew. I need another person. Oh, I got nobody here? Let's drop it right there. Pushing up, pushing up. We can do it. There we go. got a barrier. I don't care about a barrier. So now I can take on this final boss, and this is gonna suck. Cause I got a lot of stuff. Need that one. Need that one. Need that one. Sharpshooter, not worried about. Need my heavy gunner. Need a turret. Need a barrier. Don't have any air infantry coming. Doubles our health for a short time. I don't need that. Check on the arms dealer. If I had 6, I can get that. 55. Actually, that's the best thing I could get. Only one of those guys? Son of a gun. And this is how the final boss goes. I mean, it's still the same repetitive thing, but it's just addictive. Heck, wanted to pick people off. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Down to 2 people. Son of a. Nice, I killed the boss. pressure on. All right. One more. Oh, shoot. Down to 4 people again. Whew. Got my higher level troops. I got this. Need my tactician in there. Come on, get up. Get up to the line. Come on, don't you run away. Need more. There we go, push up. All right, I got a full staff now. Keep on going, push, push. Finally, I got the island. All right, need that. I like the dogs. So then after you capture the island, you go to the next island. And you see, I still only got 2 lives, so I can get another life by going to the bomb area, and that'll give me that extra life. Same thing there. But then, yeah, it again, it's going through trying to figure out what you need and what you can get. What's in my arms dealer this time? Oh, that guy. Vehicle gain large increase. That. I need my stuff there. Go back to the map. Need a turret. Let's go to that one. And that should work. 8 minutes. Yeah, that's gonna kill me. But yeah, man, that's the game. That's the game. It's a very fun game. Very, very fun game. What you over there doing? What are you playing over there?
I'm playing League of
Which one?
Legends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just recently got back to League of Legends.
I need to get back into it. I hadn't played it in a while. I hadn't played it in a very long time. I don't know what that is. Yeah, man, that's all I got for tonight. That's all I got.
I see you got Marvel Snap. We gotta play Marvel Snap soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to steal my tactics. I just got Wong. I like you, Wong.
Oh, you're wrong.
I mean, I just got him, so I'm, having fun playing with him.
No, he's really good.
Yeah, he always got me every time I played against him, and I was like, man, that sucks.
Yeah, Wong is too strong right now. Yeah, I'm making I made a unrevealed deck. It's really good.
Oh, so you use with
I use Gambit. It's like a combination of Gambit, Ironheart, and Armazola.
Oh. No, what I like using is Electra and Hobgoblin.
Oh, you like those?
Because you can't, on that sixth turn, if you just need that one spot, somebody played that one card, you short. I still haven't spent any money on this game. Oh, I need to upgrade these. And I usually wait until I'm above 3,000. Above 3,000 before I spend anything. Upgrade this stuff.
Oh.
I haven't ever spent any of the gold that you get.
Oh, that's good. Don't use it.
Why?
Because you can get a lot of good stuff when you use the gold. Like the they have like specials with the in the store with gold. I think you spend like 10,000 gold, you get like a whole bunch of gems and a whole bunch of skins and stuff like that. Like Just save your gold.
Oh, really? I mean, like 8,000, I can get Mr. Negative, but I don't want Mr. Negative.
Oh no, Mr. Negative's not good. He's not viable right now.
Yeah,
He could be, but he doesn't show up when you need to.
yeah, he gets on my nerves.
When you play decks that you really need cards to show up, you gotta have Adam Warlock in the deck. And
Well, I don't think I have Adam Warlock. Yeah, I don't even think I got Adam Warlock yet. Do this. The other one's gonna upgrade. Which one's upgrade? Beast. Yeah, I don't think I did get Adam Warlock yet. I don't know. Alphabetical. No, I don't think I got Adam Warlock.
Yeah, he's hard to get. Very hard to get. I still haven't got him. I've been trying to get him. They can't give me other stuff that I don't want, like random stuff.
Yeah.
Right now, the only cards that I want right now is Kingpin
Yeah.
and Arrow. I don't have Kingpin and Arrow.
I love Doom. I love me some Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom has saved me so many times. And I do like Venom.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Just because, I mean, it makes it easy to clear out a whole set of 4. And Sunspot I never use. I used to use a Koei a lot. Moon Girl I'm not really a fan of.
Trash. Just trash, bro.
What?
These players, man. They don't help. They want to be stupid. It's all types of nonsense.
still everything in the background?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that still League in the background?
Yeah, I'm still playing League.
I was trying to figure out. I was like, is that a cartoon?
What do you mean it's always a cartoon?
Yeah, I couldn't tell what the sound was because I started hearing the.
It's starting in the background. Oh no, nah, it's League of Legends.
I was like, man, what cartoon is that? That sounds good. Look at that one. They're gonna play the same card that I just played. Oh, they didn't play it. The Collector. Oh, there's Mark back again.
Oh, send me the invite for Snap. I'm done.
Oh, you done?
Yeah.
All right, get out of this one. I'm about to finish this out.
Yeah, just finish the match. 'Cause I know everything is ranked. Can't have that. It's a good thing now they decided to switch that out. I'll make the room.
Okay. Got him. Hopefully he doesn't. Well, he can't send it back.
I just sent it to you.
Okay. He sent that one back.
I ain't even got Dr. Doom.
You don't have Dr. Doom.
Nah, man, I'm gonna try to get Dr. Doom.
Vampires are still up.
Yeah, I like Dr. Doom. He helps out because, I mean, I'm up everywhere. If by enough, they got to play a bigger card. They can only play one spot.
You know, playing over here.
Unless they play Armazola. And then he copies me. This is Marvel Snap.
It's called what? It's called what? Oh, Marvel Snap.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to play Mjolnir.
Ooh, that was smart. That was smart, but he still lost.
Yep. Because like, there was nothing he could play that was going to copy. Or, unless he played Armazola.
Well, Joby, I know you'll be in here playing till about 1 o'clock, but I just popped in to say hello and adios. I've got to get. I gotta go. There's kitties in the morning.
Oh, we got to do the kitties in the morning?
You know, I'm back in measurement, so it's time to grade those kitties. And we actually got a Monday off, but yeah, after a 3-day, maybe a 4-day week, they should have them more loaded up for me to grade. Actually, they don't like the word grade, just score, because there's a differentiation between scoring and grading.
Gotcha.
Cool. But I know you'll be in here till about 2 o'clock or 3 in the morning.
You don't see it?
It'll be the 5-hour special with John.
No, I don't see any.
No,
cards?
I sent you the code on the chat.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a second.
I can just tell you, it's 21119.
Yeah, I see it over here.
It's 21119.
Hey, Jahan, next time you sneak in here, drop me an email. Don't be dependent on Jacoby. He never tells me when people be dropping in. So just drop drop a direct email or a LinkedIn email the next time you sneak into North Carolina.
Don't worry, Jacoby. I'm not cheating. I'm not looking at your screen. No, I'm like dead serious. I'm not looking. Don't worry about it. I have my full screen up anyway, so.
Okay. That's a good question. What am I gonna do? Look at that. You got the quit chat.
Oh Lord, that's the last thing you want to see.
What?
Unreveal effects happen twice.
Why is that the last thing you want to see?
That is annoying. You don't want that.
What you talking about? I like that one. If you have the right unrevealed cards, though. That's the thing.
They used to say on that
Oh, that's
old
nice.
TV show. What you talking about, Willis?
Get a turn 4. Oh, you get a turn 5 card. That's good. That is good stuff.
All right, Jacoby, I'm out. I might have another guest for you next week, but if I do, I'll let you know.
All right, yeah, keep it posted.
I will. Later.
Later.
Okay, bye, Mark.
Oh man, this is the deck that I didn't want to use. I just realized that.
It happens.
Kind of trapped. Ooh, nice. You stinker.
Oh, you never played this mode before?
No.
Yeah, it's a setup. So when you snap, um you have to be careful about snapping because you have a life bar. So if you snap to 8, you lose 8 out of 10. So you currently right now have, I think, like 6 life health. So you have to be
Yeah.
careful sometimes. So if you feel like you had a bad hand, just go to the next round.
I hate playing when it's that playing it in that mystery spot. Whew.
Oh, it worked out.
Yeah. Moon Girl. The actual new Moon Girl cartoon is actually pretty good.
The what?
The Moon Girl cartoon on Disney Plus.
Oh,
It's
really?
actually
I didn't see yet. I'm glad they introduced her because nobody know who the hell she is.
true. True.
I'm glad they're doing it with a lot of people. So
I'm surprised he didn't put that one in the middle.
damn, that really messed me up. Yeah, you got this one.
Oh, it's deck number 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I was trying to figure out which deck they chose for me.
Oh no, you had to choose at the beginning of it.
Yeah, I didn't even. I completely forgot about that part. Oh, I know what I want to do with that. Um,
Oh man, this is horrible.
yeah, it is a toughie. It is definitely a toughie. Oh wow, nice.
God damn it, Jacoby. Yeah.
Yeah, to sneak that one in there. You see why I like Venom.
All right. Nice one.
Yeah, that was tough right there. Oh, did your tournament already happen in this, or your the game setup?
The what?
The event that you were gonna do where you had people head out to the bar.
Yeah, I did it at Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, how did it go?
It went good. It went
That's
really
all
good.
right. That's all right.
Yeah, they've been asking me to do it on Sundays though, not Mondays. So I'm just taking a break until March. I'll probably relaunch it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till March. So, dude, that new girl, that devil dinosaur. Wow, that's so random.
I know.
They actually did the whole team. That's crazy. Oh, you're gonna have fun with this.
Yeah, from the way this hand is set up.
dirty. Absolutely dirty. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's another tough one though. It's a tough choice. Actually, you probably got this one.
Yeah, I got this one. No, I don't.
Really?
Got that nonsense.
Oh, what?
Yeah, Dr. Doom always saving it behind.
I told you I love Dr. Doom, boy.
Yeah, that darn hobgoblin messed me up.
Um, wow. Oh, nice.
Oh wow. Just give me one more. Why won't you?
Hmm.
Oh man, that messed me up so bad.
Well, I'm trying something since he tried something.
You know that's actually screwing you over.
Yeah.
Put way too many cards in your deck.
Let's see. No, I don't care about that card. I won that one. this one because I messed myself up. The way the cards came out, I didn't have anything to do with it. I was hoping that another Mjolnir came out.
All right.
Yeah. Ongoing effects disabled. Don't really care about that. Clear for takeoff. I have fun with this one. Let's see what happens.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, I like Shang-Chi. The cards this round. I hate the ninja. Oh, I hate that. Screwed up the whole plan.
Good. We don't have no more craziness.
Had it all set up too. See, I was gonna tear that one up. Ooh.
Man, you make it so difficult.
Ooh, yeah, this is toughy. Um,
Oh God, I don't even know. Whatever.
you.
It's whatever. It's whatever at this point. What? What is that? Oh, all cards. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where that one came from.
Wait, it's still not over yet. Oh God.
No, it's whoever wins this one is. Oh dear Lord, I can't stand that. That zone sucks. What is- Good. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Mm, I played stupid that last round. What am I doing?
It's late. That's what got you.
What am I doing? Oh my goodness, I messed up on so much good opportunity. I could even play it anyway because of that card. Wow. Talking about what is going on. Holy crap. Of course. Oh my god. Come on.
That Dr. Doom is a lifesaver. Those Doom bots.
That made absolutely no sense.
Man, it's 12 o'clock. We need to go sleep.
Man, I never sleep, so I don't know what to tell you.
Shoot,
You need
I
to sleep.
had to get up and do carpool in the morning.
Oh, what?
I had to get up and do carpool in the morning.
Carpool?
Yeah.
Why are you doing carpool?
Because I got to do carpool. That's what I got to do.
All right.
Oh. I'll drop everybody off, and then hopefully, well, March 8th, like I said, that's when I got my big thing. I've been in meetings. I got meetings all day tomorrow, too, about this stuff. Well, tomorrow's Tuesday. I do have a meeting tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow's Tuesday.
Man, everything's running together. But yeah, I got meetings all day tomorrow I got to run through.
Okay, well, just let me know what's good.
Oh, yeah, I'll definitely keep you posted because, like I said, we got to make this thing happen.
All right.
So, but yeah, man, I'm going to go ahead and shut this thing down because I'm going to go to sleep.
All right, no doubt.
And we got to play again.
All right, sure thing.
All right.
All right, later.
Later. All right, time to close this joker out. Another fun night.
Out for the